Hi, this is Jason Lawrence, and this is Home Building Knowledge. Today I'm going to be talking to you about what mistakes to avoid when you are having your new home built. So there's some certain things that pertain to the framing of the house, which is why I chose the location that I did. We're actually setting trusses on a home that's going up. And there's some certain things that you need to make sure are incorporated into your blueprint and finalized before things get to this point here. Because once the trusses are made and the home's being built, there's really not much you can do about it other than, rip apart the trusses and rebuild them. And of course, you're gonna have some additional expense with that. So the first thing that you need to be aware of and checking on your blueprint as plans are getting drawn are the ceiling heights in the house. So most blueprints are going to call out what the ceiling heights are in the house, but they don't always call out what the ceiling heights are for every part of the room. So it may show and call out the ceiling height that's in your great room and in your master bedroom and in your kitchen, but in the hallway leading into your master bedroom or the hallway leading into the great room, your half bath that's off the kitchen, that may not be called out on the plan. And so if you have 10-foot ceilings in your great room, you have 10-foot ceilings in your kitchen and eating area, you might be expecting that you're going to have 10-foot ceilings, everywhere throughout the house, in all of the hallways, the half bath, so on and so forth. Well, this isn't always the case. Typically, if you take a standard home, most of the walls are going to be 8-foot, except for the sections in the home that have 10-foot ceilings. Then those walls are going to be 10-foot high. So if you're looking at a blueprint here, you can see it shows the living room as having a 10-foot ceiling. Now if we look over into the powder room or the half bath there, it doesn't show what the ceiling height is there. So one thing you can do when you're having your plan drawn up is have your builder or draftsman make sure that they're calling out what the ceiling height is for every part of the house. Because otherwise what can happen is the house is framed up, you're walking through the house, and you're like, well, gee, I thought I was supposed to have a 10-foot ceiling in my hallway here. Well, no, that's not always the case. It wasn't called out like that on the blueprint, so there was no way that the truss manufacturer knew that that was to be a 10-foot ceiling. So the trusses got made, walls were built for an 8-foot ceiling, and now that's pretty much what you're stuck with. The next thing that you want to be looked for and checking the blueprint is the cabinet layout. So a lot of times people get their plan drafted up and then they meet and do their cabinet selections after the blueprint's already done. You want to make sure to have your cabinet selections done, have your final kitchen layout, bathroom layouts completed before your blueprints are done. You want to be able to send that exact cabinet layout that's going to be going into your home to the draftsman so that he can incorporate that into the blueprint. So otherwise, if you have, let's say a bathroom vanity that's drawn into the blueprint originally shows a single bowl vanity, and while you're at the cabinet company, you decide I want to do a double bowl vanity there. If that doesn't get shown on the print, when the plumber comes to do the rough plumbing at the house, he's going to plumb that sink for a single bowl vanity, and then there's going to be a change in the field that's going to have to be made. A lot of homes these days have tile showers in the master bathroom. So one thing that you want to look for with the tile shower, actually two things, the width of the door opening. If you can have that width be 2 feet 8 inches, that will fit a standard size glass shower door. If you do anything larger than that or smaller than that, you're going to have to do somewhat of a custom glass shower door, which is going to cost more than a standard width or standard size door. The other thing you want to be cognizant of is the height of the opening in the tile shower. If it's down too low, you're going to have all this moisture that can't escape the shower because your wall is in front of it. If you bring that opening of the shower opening up higher towards the ceiling, there's more room for the moist air to get out of the shower and get sucked in by the vent and vented out of the house. And that of course helps with having any, mold issues in your shower and on the ceiling. The last thing that I would check on would be the window placement in the house. So when your plan's drawn up, you're going to have a certain amount of windows in the home. Those are typically going to be set off the floor. In the bedrooms, they're usually going to set those about 4 feet off of the floor. In your dining area, those will probably be about 4 feet off of the floor. In your living room, you want to determine what that height's going to be. So in your living room, you don't want the windows 4 feet off of the floor. You want to get that view and have as much glass in there as possible. So you probably want your windows to start 10 inches off the floor as opposed to 2 feet, 3 feet, or even 4 feet off the floor. So those are things to check on as far as the windows, not just the size of the window, but how high it sits off of the floor. Because again, that's something that you're not going to realize until you're walking through the house and it's framed up. That can be changed, but again, there's going to be some cost that goes with that. So those are some of the common things that can get missed on the blueprint, and they're really easy to check on and make sure they get incorporated into the blueprint, so that once we get to this stage, there's no callbacks and extra money spent by you, the client, having some of these changes done. I hope you enjoyed the information that I shared with you today. If you have any questions pertaining to this video, I'll be going back, even if you're not watching it live, I'll be going back and looking at the comments here. So if there's any questions on anything I talked about or additional items that I didn't, please leave them in the comment section and I'll come back and make sure that I answer them. Again, this is Jason Lawrence with Home Building Knowledge. Thanks for your time today. Have a great rest of the day.